Donald Trump in retreat, eyeing major new concessions today as his trade war stokes fears of a recession and undermines his political fortunes. This morning, Trump writing on social media he is open to lowering tariffs on China from 145% to 80%. All this before talks with China even start. It suggests that Trump knows he might have overreached here. The Wall Street Journal calling it a trade war retreat. Quote, if Republicans want to pretend this retreat is genius at work, fine with us, as long as the damage is reduced. Politically, Trump allies are now awkwardly trying to claim victories that don't really exist. Trump's Commerce Secretary mocked for this claim about the draft agreement with the UK, which left 10% tariffs in place.
So we feel really good about the deal. You've heard the Prime Minister. He feels really good about the deal, right? And we started at 10% and we ended at 10%. And the market for America is better.
And joining me now is Democratic Congressman Robert Garcia of California, member of the House Oversight Committee and Homeland Security Committee. Congressman, your thoughts on Trump's tariff war and its impact on the economy and your constituents?
Yeah, I think Donald Trump is causing nothing but complete chaos. That stunt in the Oval Office is actually doing little to stop the impact of these tariffs. We know that tariffs are a tax on the American people and the American public. I am here across the street right now, the Port of Long Beach and Los Angeles. They are the single largest seaports in the United States. 40% of all American goods are coming into Long Beach and Los Angeles. And I'm telling you that right now, what's coming back is 30 to 35% less because of Donald Trump's tariffs. We're having empty cargo containers coming back. Truck drivers are losing shifts. Dock workers are having to go home. They're happy if they're able to even get a shift out of work a day. This is causing incredible damage, not just to the national economy, but what's going to come for the American consumer in the weeks and months ahead are increased prices and empty shelves of some of Americans' favorite goods. And so this is a real crisis that's beginning to happen here in this country, and Donald Trump should reverse all these tariffs immediately.
Can you take me into the lives of some of your constituents? They're going to see these changes before many other Americans do. What does that mean for their daily lives, their families' ability to put food on the table?
So I've been talking to a lot of workers here in Long Beach in the harbor area. I'm talking to truck drivers, these truck drivers who work hard, working class people. They're putting food on the family's table. They are seeing their shifts reduced. Normally, a truck driver could come in and out of the port, could be 4 times a day. If they're lucky, 5 times a day on a great day. Some of these truck drivers today are getting 2 shifts coming in and out of the port. That is devastating for their revenue. You're seeing their ability to make money slashed dramatically. You're seeing now layoffs that are happening in warehouses across the Southern California region. You're seeing in Northern California around the Oakland port, the same types of things happening. And what people don't understand is we're feeling the immediate impacts now, real impacts to truck drivers, dock workers, factory workers. But what this really means is increased costs of goods for the entire country in the months ahead. And what people need to understand is it is the chaos and uncertainty that is causing exporters and imports essentially to shut down. We're essentially making decisions right now based on inaccurate information, on tariffs that are changing from one day to the next. And so the supply chain is in complete chaos right now, and everyone should be concerned because this will impact every American.
I need to ask you to, if you've seen the images coming out of Newark of the arrest of Mayor Ras Baraka, and some of your colleagues were there on the ground with him in this incredible scene. We see a congressman right there in the center, sort of stuck in this tug of war with officials on the ground there. What's your reaction to this and what his arrest represents?
This is completely shameful and outrageous. Members of Congress have a right to visit these facilities. It happens all the time. And for this to happen to the mayor and to colleagues, people, all of which I know and respect, is a dark, dark day for our country. Members of Congress have the right to do oversight and to visit these facilities. And the way I see, for example, Congresswoman Watson Coleman there, Congresswoman, all the other congresswomen and congressmen that are there, Congressman Menendez that I see there, this is just horrific to treat people this way, anyone, whether it's a member of Congress or anyone else. And what's also really critical, and it's important, is Kristi Noem, the secretary who oversees Homeland Security, is creating her own immigration laws. She's not following the Constitution. They're deporting people that don't have any right to due process. And they're sending people to these facilities that essentially have gotten no day in court. They have had their due process stripped from them. And so we've got to speak up. It is unconscionable that the mayor would get arrested this way. And so we are going to call this out. Secretary Noem will be in front of our committee in Homeland Security this week. And you can rest assured that she will be asked the tough questions about how this happened to the members of Congress and the mayor.
Well, speaking of Secretary Noem, she was just in front of lawmakers, and she basically said again from this administration that they have no plan to follow through with what the Supreme Court has ordered, which is that the administration needs to facilitate the return of Kilmar Abrego Garcia. I mean, and then add that to the fact that, the president was talking to my colleague, Kristen Welker, saying, I don't know, when asked about due process. What are they telling us? I mean, what's coming next here?
I think the American public needs to understand that the president of the United States is defying a 9-0 unanimous Supreme Court decision to facilitate the return of Kilmar Abrego Garcia. He is defying the Supreme Court. He is tearing down our institutions. This is, I've said, I believe so. This is a constitutional crisis when you have the president essentially dismissing what the Supreme Court and lower courts have affirmed. And we know that Donald Trump's own administration has said that he was sent there by mistake. And so it is crazy to think that a president is choosing to defy a Supreme Court, which we know is already quite conservative. So we've got to be loud. We've got to demand that Donald Trump not just return Kilmar, but actually support and understand that due process is in the Constitution. And due process is in the Constitution, not just for United States citizens. Due process is there for all persons in this country. It's something that we're all afforded and that we've got to stand up and fight for.